Well, joining me now to discuss the latest situation in Ukraine is retired Brigadier General Greg Zanetti. General, great to have you with us on the program. We've been talking a lot about Russia's focused strategically on the east. What are their larger plans here?
Well, what I believe is coming is they're trying to form, it's basically a pact with Russia, China, Iran, India, and actually Saudi Arabia to challenge U.S. power across the Eurasian continent. And Ukraine was really just the first step in this process. That's the bigger picture that I think is going on.
And according to reports, Russia is mobilizing more than 60,000 reservists. What impact do you think that this is going to have on their war effort?
So you're exactly right what's happening here. There's an old saying in the military, amateurs study tactics and professionals study logistics. And what we're seeing now is the movement, this big logistical battle lining up, and it's on two levels. One is the Ukraine level, where clearly Russia bit off more than they could chew in trying to get Kiev and the eastern part of Ukraine. So now they're repositioning to focus just on the east, and they have all the advantage right now. Train, convoys, air, even by ship, they can bring in more supplies. Meanwhile, the Ukrainians, they don't have air superiority, they don't have open sea lanes, they have to bring in everything, in some cases, hundreds of miles by convoy, which is tough considering they don't have air superiority. And so on that level, Russia has the advantage right now as they head east.
Yeah, and we've been following, of course, the story. The Defense Department confirmed that Russia was responsible for the missile attack that killed dozens of civilians at that train station in Kramatorsk. That despite Russian assertions that it was Ukrainian forces. What did the Russians have to gain from doing that?
Actually, nothing. I was surprised that they did it, unless it was just some mistake. But they're clearly losing the information war. And that's a main part of battle as well. And this is actually surprising to me. The Soviets used to be pretty good at this. And the Russians have been very ham-handed in how they have handled, I hate to say, the propaganda piece that, again, Soviets were very good at. But they're clearly losing in that respect to the war.
And General, we had just spoken prior to our live hit here with the Ukrainian member of parliament talking about the weapons that Ukraine needs. But what they're not saying is that they are frustrated by how slow the United States has been in transferring these weapons and sort of the level of weaponry that they're getting. They've been asking for air defense systems and jets. They say they don't need boots on the ground. Their Ukrainian pilots can fly those jets. That would need additional training. Shouldn't the U.S. be doing everything it can right now to bolster Ukraine in this fight?
Absolutely. But what you've seen is the first staging of the resupply was happening in Western Ukraine, and the Russians blew it to smithereens about 2 weeks ago. So now they're staging in Poland. So then they've got to bring these weapons 800 miles right now across the country. It's like bringing it all the way across Texas. And again, they don't have air superiority, nor can they bring it in by sea. And any long convoys will certainly bring the attention of the Russian Air Force. So that's the challenge they have right now. And so if I could add one more piece to this, there's also a logistical battle going on at a higher level. And that is, even if the war ended today, think what's happened. Energy flows, food flows, banking systems, currency systems are all being shaken up worldwide, and we're having to deal with that right now as well. Again, we're in the logistical part of the war, and you know I'm running for governor out here in New Mexico. America's going to need more independence. We're going to need to unleash the resources of New Mexico, Colorado, Texas, and we're going to be in this for the long slog, so let's prepare.
Absolutely. Russia complained to Turkey about Ukraine using Turkish-made drones in its war effort. Where do you see that relationship? Where do you see things complicating there, given the fact that you had Russia selling their defense system to Turkey, and they have been allied on many global issues?
Right. Remember, Turkey will always look out for Turkey first. But yes, again, this is part of this Eastern Bloc that's being formed to go against the West. And so this was part of Putin's grand vision that he outlined 15, 18 years ago that said, why do we kowtow to the Americans? We have in Europe all of the technological engineering capabilities you could want. We have all the natural resources that you could want across Russia and the stands, Turkmenistan, even Turkey, and anyway, and then also the factory floor to the world in Asia. And he said, let us unite and form a giant land power. And to our friends in the Middle East, join us in this endeavor. This is all part of this bigger picture that Putin is trying to put together, step one being Ukraine.
General Zanetti, we really appreciate your expertise and analysis. Thanks for coming on.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.